Hello, welcome, Wastelanders. How you doing? Nice to see some of you familiar faces in chat, and if you are new, welcome again. I'm Steve. I am one of the video goblins here at Modifius, and we are, or as Verm calls me, Steve, which is also what my mum calls me when I'm in trouble. So yes, I am joined here by our resident three experts and amazing people in the realm of Fallout. I will get them to introduce themselves this time in reverse order. I'm tired of saying and last but not least Samantha. So this time, first and foremost, Samantha, please introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm Samantha. I am head of brand here at Modifius, and I'm also the brand manager for our Fallout lines. So that's the role-playing game, the tabletop games, everything.
Cool. Also, next, Evie, please introduce yourself.
Hiya, I'm Evie. I'm the lead game designer in the Modifius studio, and I am the lead game designer on many of our Fallout miniatures products.
Cool. And finally, Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie. I'm the project manager for our Fallout miniature lines, everything but the RPG, so I'm responsible for getting this all across the line on time.
Cool. There we go. But yeah, so what do you mean I'm avoiding Vault-Tec Blue? I just, I've got to be, I know. I think we're talking about who's representing. There's one person representing. The rest of us are kind of casual. Jamie's wearing a Doom top for crying out loud. That is not
I am
Fallout,
representing.
Why did the logo just become a pie?
Chat.
I can't explain that to you. The Mac effect. If you know, you know.
It's been described, Jamie, as a tactical background in chat.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Yeah. Are those Minutemen dice? Well, maybe we'll see. I like the way Jamie's moving into just like
let me just do that. There we go.
Leaking accidentally into just like just putting things really obvious in the back of the shot. It's like it's when the subtext becomes text. So right, as if you've seen these before, basically we just go through some of the new stuff for Fallout factions, and sometimes the wider world of Fallout. As we head more and more to Waste and Warfare 2nd Edition, we will talk more and more about other things. But for the moment, no more news on Waste and Warfare 2nd Edition. We'll get that one clear out the way. That will come when it comes, and boy will we toot the horns when it does. But in the meantime, we want to talk about straight in the slides. Boom. Let's just go straight into this. The Battle for Boston starter set. So here we are, the second of our starter sets. We've mentioned this a little bit before, but perhaps, Samantha, maybe this is something you can talk to. It's just like a quick summary of why we're doing another starter set. What does this mean for the Battle for Nuka World? Like what's the kind of the plan for how these things?
Yeah, for sure. When after John conceived Fallout Factions and I was working with him on it, I took over the line in terms of brand management, and I had always kind of thought of Fallout Factions as being a kind of as having kind of seasons of content, a bit like we do with waves for Wasteland Warfare. I'm trying to move a little bit more away from kind of concept of like waves in very strict senses, but we do think of our releases in terms of these kind of longer chunks. It's been about 18 months, or will be about 18 months since we launched, or longer I think actually now, since we launched the first Fallout Factions starter set, Nuka World. And Battle for Boston takes us to a more kind of main game focused area, right? So Nuka World was a DLC that provided a really great playground for 3 different crews, the 3 different factions to play off against each other, and of course the additional ones that came in the originally those PDF crew rosters, and then are coming in the folio too. And then as we brought out the core rulebook, the game really just kind of moved itself to that core a bit more of a generic wasteland kind of situation where we've got Brotherhood, we've got Survivors, we've got the Raiders, and we've got Super Mutants. More news on them later. No, all right, Jamie. Okay, no news.
No news. Okay, fair enough.
And so a long-winded version of this is basically that what we're looking to do is provide both a great entry point and also a good choice for an expansion kit as well. If you'd already bought Nuka World, maybe if you bought another couple of crews, Battle for Boston will provide you with both an existing plastic set as part of that, but also a new plastic set in there as well, which we will come on to.
Cool.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a great entry point for new players, but it is also a great expansion product too if you want like more content, different crews, different location, different campaign for that location as well.
Yeah. So, well, let's dive in then. See what is in there that makes it different and not just Nuka World 2. This is very much a separate thing, very different. So let's dive in. You mentioned sort of the scenario play. Let's talk. And when I say let's, I'm kind of looking at you here, Evie. So let's talk about scenarios. In the Battle for Boston, you're going to get 6 scenarios, which is going to be skirmish and 5 totally new ones. Do you want to speak to that a little?
Yeah, sure. So in Battle for Nuka World, we obviously had our 6 scenarios there for play with a control campaign, and they are much more in that asymmetrical narrative vein than, for instance, the comp kit scenarios. And this is another set in that kind of similar sort of direction, but they are using all of the experience that we've taken from having worked on quite a bit of factions now, and also take into account the feedback from the community. So these 5 new scenarios have been built to give you a kind of a satisfying narrative experience, whilst also hopefully kind of taking off some of those rough edges and little moments of frustration that a few of the scenarios had in the past, whilst giving you a completely new experience of the game. Like we've really focused on giving you unusual and exciting scenarios that also don't feel weird to play multiple times, because inevitably you're going to play all of these a few times. But they are like events that you can imagine happening often, but also events that are like exciting and dynamic and have like interesting mechanics to get your teeth into.
Cool. And also there is as well as those mechanic rules, one of the specific mechanical revisions that we've talked about before, well, you and I have talked about before, it's like maybe we talk about them now on stream, is control scenarios. So control scenarios getting a little bit of a tweak.
Yeah, so the control campaign as a whole
Oop,
is
sorry.
one of those things that like um we obviously was the first campaign system that was created for factions, and then Reach has come in with the core rule book, but it doesn't mean that we're not interested in taking control forwards and developing it and giving more sort of more emphasis to it. And also I think we've learnt our lessons a little bit with control, in the sense that one of the complaints was often, oh, it's very hard to gain and lose control, we want this to be more dynamic, and that's something we've really taken on board. I think almost every scenario you play, I'd have to double check, gives some change of control to the attacker or the defender. So the battle for Boston itself feels a lot more dynamic, I think, game to game. Also, we have introduced a few new campaign rules. Can't remember exactly when we can talk about those in the slides, but I can launch into some of it now.
Yeah,
Basically, we wanted to make sure that control felt rewarding for crews, and so control now gives distinct benefits for having control in different areas within Boston. So if you win enough control in a place, you'll get access to a special rule for your crew that just is persistently there for your crew. If you get some more control, you'll get a special ploy that you can use in any game you'll play with your crew, representing their kind of their rep and their experience in that area. And then finally, if you manage to really get dominate an area, get 5 control in an area, you'll unlock a special Legend of the Wasteland that you can recruit into your crew that's not available to anyone who doesn't have that level of control. So we really wanted to reward people for their investment in the campaign and give people a few exciting bits and pieces to play with.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool. We're talking about different ones, so 5 totally new scenarios. So let's have a closer look. This is the scenario Midnight Raid, which is going to be in the Battle for Boston. I mean, I suppose you can, as with many of the things we put in these streams, you can hammer the print screen button if you want now, but you don't have that much longer to wait. But yeah, so let's talk about Midnight Raid. What's going on here that makes use of these new rules, or what? Just talk about it in general, I
Yeah.
suppose.
So this is a scenario that represents one crew attempting to sort of dive into the territory of another crew, and like raid their resources, steal what they can, and make it out, um, under the cover of darkness. And so there is a special rule, which means that the under cover of darkness rule means that your ranged attacks are going to be much more limited. It's going to be much harder to hit things at a long distance, in fact impossible, and you're going to have to dive much faster into the much closer sort of like combat. This we think will give a chance for more melee focused crews to thrive, and also shotguns at the ready, but also breaks up the kind of the normal flow of play up a little bit. And that's one of the things that we've looked at doing in some of these scenarios, is thinking, what are the ruts that we end up in play, and how can we disrupt that and give people a chance to have different models in their crew shine, and have different factions really take to the field in an enthusiastic way. And this is also a scenario that is about grabbing supplies and running out, and so there are some really fun story outcomes here, which can give you really good stuff for your crew, and you can make off with some serious resources. And a lot of the scenarios are like this. We're trying to pack in this idea of a full story arc happening for both crews, and with some unique sort of approaches in each scenario.
Cool. So this is one of those ones where if you're like, and I've played played a couple of games where I just realize whenever I remember, hang on, I can take as many unlucky shots as I want, just because they're out of my range. This is out for that. I can't be doing that,
Well,
or past a certain range.
yeah. So the idea is that this is, it is dark, and you need to be careful of that. The specific rule here is, let me just pull it up so I
I've
can
got it
give
here.
you.
So it's
You got it here.
the range of all weapons is equal to their listed value or the perception statistic of the model using it, whichever is less.
Yes.
Right.
So this will still let you make unlucky shots across the field. But if you want to have those precision shots, you're going to need to be up nice close and personal.
Gotcha.
That's
Excellent. That sounds like a nice little remix of it. That sounds cool. Cool. So scenery. Now, there was scenery in the Battle for Nuka world, and it was great. There is scenery in the Battle for Boston Sunset, and it is really great. Hi there, all games users. Ruins, hell yeah, exactly. Everyone loves ruins.
Boston ruins in particular. I
Boston
spent
ruins.
many hours flying around Boston
Yep.
in my free
Yeah.
camera mode,
Yep.
looking for.
I had to dig out those assets. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, there's a little bit of difference here that you might see. There's a little bit more vertical. This is our first piece of cardboard, not cardboard, sorry, push scenery that has like 2 tiers on it, and extra floors. And as it says there, you get 2 of everything in here, because there's 2 scenery boards in this one, I believe, isn't there? So
Yep, we've doubled the scenery in the
yeah.
box. So, and one of the goals that you've already mentioned there, Steve, is that double layer, that second floor, as it were, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of those, and it adds a bit more verticality to the game that we absolutely love, and has been in the design since day one. And so we can, and what's great, I think, as well, is that if you've got some of your Nuka World scenery and stuff, some of the the ramps, the barricade, the fencing kind of stuff is not going to look 100 miles different from this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So props, Jamie, to the team for that one.
Yeah, no, really happy with how it's turned out. The other thing on here that you can't see is you don't actually have to pop all the windows and doors out. They can stay in. They're fully graphicsed up. Bad with words now. So you can keep them
No,
in if
that's
you want.
that's the correct term. Graphics up. Yeah.
It's all graphics
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Graphics up. Yeah. And with the New World one, there was more scatter sort of decorative terrain. We sort of moved away a bit more just so we can fit even more in here. As you can see, there's two-story building and various bits and pieces and barricades and stuff. So it just means more usable terrain for players.
So there you go. That's it in use on Jamie's kitchen table. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's
And from
the
a
full
gameplay
remit.
perspective, this is like a real jump from Nuke World, because Nuke World had some great terrain in it, but there wasn't quite enough in the box for it to really feel like a nice packed battlefield. And so, when we've run comp events, we've often recommended 2 sets of the Nuke World terrain. That's what the comp kit recommends. And this is a full table, completely all you will need straight out of the box. We will be recommending for comp kits going forwards a single set of the Battle for Boston terrain.
The second floor now having cover as well. The New World ones are great, but everyone died on top of those roofs.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do I want to be really exposed up there? Or, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple of people in chat have noticed. Is that a new tiny? Yes, it is. It's a new
tiny.
Tiny tape measure.
Yeah.
Do we get a teeny tiny tape measure in this one as well?
Yes, you get a blue one.
A blue one, excellent. Not that I accidentally broke the red one from my Nuka World set with my stupid ham hands. So, but yes. So there we go. Scenery, yeah, and I think this scenery as well looks really great. People in chat sort of talking about STL stuff as well. So I think this stuff actually sometimes with like push fit you can be like, oh, that stands out compared to say STL stuff or bought things, but I think this actually fits in really well. There's some really nice things. It wouldn't look out of place in that.
Yeah.
So
Mark's with the engineering.
Yeah, a lot of the aim for it is also as a new player experience. You can open this and just go rather than having to go buy resin models and resin terrain and print it or things.
Yeah.
One thing I will point out here: the map on here is the old Nuka World one because I don't have it, but the new map will be double-sided. It won't have a poster on the other side. It's 2 different urban maps this time.
That's cool.
So it's a slight move away from Nuka World. As cool as the poster was, I wanted a different urban map on the back of Salmon Creed. So
hey, that's fine. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So cool. Scenery. We expect to see lots of photos of your battle reports with crammed tabletops. Dice. People noticed there were dice on that board. Here is a new set of dice, and this set comes with the Battle for Boston. It is, I think it's the obvious choice of dice. It's got the Vault-Tec logo on it. Why wait around for that one?
So
what else is there to say?
Exactly.
Easy choice.
Exactly. So there we go. But yeah, Vault-Tec dice in approved non-toxic Vault-Tec paints. Lovely. So there we go. I mean, there's your math rocks. That's all we really have to say. Now, as for actual sprues you're getting, no, not confirmed edible. The set Modiphius. No, do not. Modiphius states, do not eat your dice. What flavor? Choking. The flavor is choking flavor. So don't eat them. Lawyers flashed before my eyes. The Battle for Boston also has a couple of sprues, and the first one we know is the Brotherhood of Steel. Just showing you again, we've shown you, you've seen them, you know what this is, that they're out there and they're separate set as well already. So that's all we're going to say about that.
It's the poster boys. I had to put them in.
Exactly.
Had to.
So, however, one thing we will talk about though, and this is not a Brotherhood thing, but it comes with something is like hands up in chat if you love power armor or armor in general. I'm not going to wait because there's always a delay on these things, and you just yes, says Van Verm loves Verm 1, hands up, yeah, of course, people love it.
Of course.
So obviously the Brotherhood love their armor, but everyone in the Wasteland loves the armor. So let's talk about the new story action modify armor. Evie, do you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, sure. So Oh, modify weapon is something that's existed in the game from day one, and has been a way to make your characters even more lethal. But that has always meant that those who favour a more defensive approach have struggled, perhaps, to keep up. And so this is something we're introducing in Battle for Boston to try and rectify that. It is effectively a series of specific perks that you can spend parts procuring for your characters, upgrading them as you would upgrading their weapons. This also lets you put burly, hardy, and rad resistant on your models, and when you get all three, they combine and become power armor. At which point, we recommend switching out that model for a power armor model. We have now given you the means to upgrade your models to effectively be in power armor. It also includes some power armor specific upgrades like kinetic dynamo, and these are all very exciting, unusual abilities that you're probably familiar with from the video games that really ramp up your power armor models if you want to invest hard. Um, the What I will say is this is in the Battle for Boston book, but we are aware you are going to want to use this in your other campaigns, and it has been written that you can pick it up and just drop it in either Reach or Control campaigns without any problems whatsoever.
Cool. So yeah, people are saying in chat, does that mean my X can now have Y? It's like, well, that's kind of it. Yeah. So if you're scavenging the right bits and you're putting the right bits together and you put the effort in.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want a Cult of Mothman force with someone in power armor, now is the time for you to go and do that. So I will say that super mutants can't have the power armor perk. They can get all the benefits effectively of it, but they
They're
don't
too
then don't
chunky
count as
already. They
having it.
can't fit it in.
I'm afraid it is hard and firm sort of law that super mutants don't have power armor. Sorry to disappoint, but everyone else, yep. Your operator leader in power armor. Well, we'll come on to some of the other options later in the
Do
stream.
we want to tell them the thing which they can do with power armor, which is a bit weird, or are we waiting for them to find that out?
I think some people have clocked this already, which is technically, yes, you can put your dog in power armor. And we did talk about this, and we decided it was honestly too funny not to allow. Mechanically, there are no particular balance problems when you have this. We'll assume that you can flavor your dog armor in some exciting way. And I look forward to seeing all of the conversions and exciting models that people come up with to to make their dogs
What's the dog
the true
which is
power
like
of the wasteland.
I can never remember. What's the dog with the cyber brain again called? We did a mini of
Rex.
Rex. Yeah.
Rex, that's it. Yes. There you go. X404. No, well, no, you can get an Rex. Yes, thank you, chat. I'm a forgetful person sometimes. But yeah, there we go. So, modifying armor, we expect to see you all in the armor bay in your little garages and reenacting the start of the Fallout 4 intro. So, like I said, that's not a Brotherhood thing, but Brotherhood and armor go together like a horse and carriage. So it feels like this is a good time to talk about it. Also, the other sprue in the Battle for Boston Star set is the Institute, and you haven't seen these yet, so here they are. This is what you're going to be able to make with. This is one set of Institute sprues. But yeah, let's just maybe dive into these. We would normally do these as like kind of show minis and things like that as part of a mini reveal. But as Samantha said at the start, we're kind of like, we're in the middle of changing gears at the moment, so we're just going to do everything now. And you get more stuff in your factions news stream. Just sit back and lap it up. So we'll go through these and take a little look. And I'll give some credits and shout outs to the sculptors and painters at the end because their work is amazing, and they would normally be here to speak for themselves. So straight off the bat, the Corsa, which I believe, Evie, you said to me was possibly one of the most dangerous units currently in faction. So
I think we're going to talk about the
we
course in
are.
a little more detail
We'll
in a
talk
moment.
about
But
them.
yes, they are probably the scariest individual leader. Maybe the Paladin gives them a run for their money, but where the Paladin is tough, the Corsair is tricksy and difficult to engage. And in particular, they are extremely crafty in how they play.
Exactly. As Pepper Sandwich says, shoulder pads does indeed equal dangerous. You know someone's got business if they've got shoulder pads. We've got some Gen 1 synths. They look slightly, outdated, worse for wear, but they're doing their best. We've got this guy with the baton and the laser, another baton, and there you go. There's three
Yes,
of those.
the Gen 1s will be your weakest kind of grunts, won't they, Evie?
Yeah, so these are your wasters from other crews, waster equivalents. They are real chaff, but as we will talk about when we come back around to the Corsair, you may not have to only put up with having the number of Gen 1 synths that you deploy on the table throughout the whole of the game. There are some ways for them to return.
Exactly. Oh, look, there's another one there because they just keep coming.
There are four
Like
of
you
them,
say,
yeah.
there are four.
Yep.
There are four.
Yay, 4 in the box.
Let's upgrade now to the Gen 2 synths. We got a few of those as well to show off.
That's a mean-looking model.
It is. This is my favorite in the Institute set because I love the idea that the synths are designed. Part of their design is to infiltrate, and this guy has gone into battle with a 2-foot square Institute logo, which is possibly not very infiltrating, but there's
It's a fun
something to be said for
yeah.
representing your local branch of the Institute. But there's some great looking Gen 2s. Yeah, exactly. It's good. The torso details do feel a bit organ-like, a bit creepy. So yeah. Meanwhile, the brains behind everything at the Institute, we have a couple of scientists who, I don't know, it's just nice to see a Fallout model with a predominant color that is not necessarily brown. So, these guys are in their nice, clean coveralls. I'm a big fan of it.
They've just gone outside.
Exactly. He's going to be dirty as hell in about 3 hours, but no, I think they look amazing. These scientists, they're real creepy. And then we're up to the most modern synths, the infiltrators. So we have this synth infiltrator. I can't say it. Synth, the synfiltrator, number one, and a second one who's gone for a slightly more rugged raider approach. Yeah.
Are these apart from the leader, obviously, are these your only 2 champions, Evie? Or
No, so the Institute have a relatively unusual construction. So Gen 1 and Gen 2 synths are your grunts, Institute scientists and synth infiltrators are your champions, and Corsair is your champion leader. So they actually have more champion options than you might expect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quick shout. Sorry. You can just do a quick shout. These were sculpted by the amazing Colin Grayson and painted by our very own Rosie. So thank you to both of them for that. It's always lovely seeing these things. But yeah. Apologies. I just wanted to get that out of the way before I forgot.
That's okay. No worries. They deserve all the credit. They look absolutely fabulous. I was going to say, yeah, the Institute are unusual in the sense they have more utility champions. Your champions, other than your Corsair, who is, as we mentioned, deadly. Your champions are more utility pieces for doing cunning maneuvers and careful actions than they are big brute force pieces. So they might not be as heavy hitting as the champions from other factions, but they have a very important role.
They do. Enough teasing, I think, of how brutal the Corsair is. Let's take a look at the Corsair. So here we go. This is the stat box for the Corsair. So you can have a little squint at that and see
Get
what
your
you
screen
think.
grabs in.
Exactly. It's interesting though. It's like, kind of, maybe we'll talk about that later. Maybe there won't be such need to screen grab for very long. But there we go. So yeah, he does perceive. He perceives everything. He sees
Agile's a lot.
Very, very agile's a lot, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say he sees through all of your crap, but no, it's fine. But yes, so yeah, as you can see there, he's the leader. He's rad resistant. Has the stealth boy.
Well, should we talk about what the stealth boy does, because that's not necessarily immediately obvious if you've not
Sure.
trawled
We don't actually
through
have
the
that, do we?
folio.
Sure.
Well, there are a few mentions of them in the folio, and they are the same. So this model cannot be targeted unless the attacking model is within their perception in inches of the Corsair. So you have to get really up and close. And yes, people in the chat have noticed there is a synth relay grenade.
You mean a clicks synth relay grenade? Should we talk about that next?
Let's talk about that.
There we go. This is called foreshadowing. You could do that's great, isn't it?
You're doing a great job.
I know.
So
if this was an RPG I was running, my players would be buying everything I'd be laying down. It'd be fantastic.
So the key thing here is the reinforcements trait, which allows you to place one Gen 1 synth into play. Now, you may all be immediately concerned about the idea of infinite synths. Always. But these only put models that have been previously removed from play back into play. So the Corsair can effectively recycle all of your Waster style models back into play by sacrificing actions to hurl those grenades around.
Cool. And apart from like the cost, the action cost to do this, is there a limit, or is it like the synth can come back once, or it just can keep as long as you've got a spare synth?
As long as you've had a Gen 1 synth removed from the board before now, a Gen 1 synth can come back.
Thanks, I hate it. It's I do not want to go up against this, but that's a problem for future Steve. So yeah, there is the synth relay grenade. So that's a little sneak behind the scenes of the Institute.
Definitely making my Institute samples up now.
I know, yeah, exactly.
I've got to make this now.
Exactly. Synth Rush is the new Zerg Rush. I would love to see people trying that, Cool. So also, of course, the synths have a dice set. So there we go. That's what they're gonna look like. Is power play any good? Yes. So there we go. That's another great set of math rocks. Thank you very much, Master M. Before we go on, well, no, let's finish talking about the Battle of Boston starter set. So now there's a few more things to talk about in the Battle of Boston starter set, which is the Railroad and the Minutemen. Now that starter set is going to contain the rules for these. The sprues will be sold separately. So you're not going to get sprues for 4 factions in there. You're getting the 2. You're getting Brotherhood of Steel and you're getting the Institute. But you will also have the rules in there for Railroad and Minutemen. Just like how in Nuka World, you didn't get the Disciple sprues in the set. It's just the same thing, different source. But, of course, the rules are in there. So let's talk about those rules. The Railroad. Let's talk about how we wanted the Railroad to play, what we wanted them to feel like on the tabletop. Can you do that, Evie?
Absolutely. So the Railroad are more of a asymmetrical insurgency faction than anything else we've seen in the game so far. We wanted to make sure that the Railroad felt like a group of dedicated survivors using all of the tactics at their disposal in order to overcome their opponents. So whereas the Brotherhood of Steel might bring, power armor and big guns to bear, the Railroad have their railway rifles, which are extremely potent, but they mostly rely upon tricks and cunning. If the Institute is all about manipulating the board state of your opponent, then the Railroad are about manipulating your own position and your own board state. And they do this through a couple of very unusual mechanisms, new introductions to the rules. I think if we go to the next slide, we can.
I think we shall. This is one of the Railroad's ploys. This is concealed snipers, and it's got some terms in there which I think you might need to explain to us.
Indeed. And the first thing I should tell you about this is that the Railroad, this is one of 5 Railroad ploys. They do not have 2 like most factions, they have 5. But if they want to use a core ploy, it costs them 2 ploy tokens. And you may be thinking, well, that means my tier 1 crew can't use one of those. And I'm afraid you would be wrong, because though you will start with ploy tokens according to your tier as normal, every time you incapacitate an enemy model, you will gain a ploy token. This lets you use their wide range of ploys frequently and to great effect. Concealed Snipers allows you to open fire using a weapon with the aim trait by drawing line of sight and determining range from an insurgency token. So in the box, there is a little lantern that will go on a standard size base that you will place at the beginning of the game. And also your 2 of your models, or a number of your models in your crew, one of the crew options, the runner, counts as an insurgency token. And using these, you can manipulate the board in unusual, interesting ways. Setting up concealed sniper positions, setting up tripwires, moving unexpectedly from place to place, and so on. It means that you will be very, very powerful, and you will be able to manipulate the board very well at the beginning, but as your runners begin to suffer casualties, your ability to use tricks on your opponent will slowly diminish.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people who hates things coming up like explosive, what's it called when the searchables become explosive?
Yeah.
If you hate stuff like that, you do not want to go up against the Railroad, because they're going to be rigging the whole table against you. So good luck with that. But yes, and let's now chat the same about the Minutemen. How do we want? What's the vibe of the Minutemen on the table? What do they feel like to play or be played against? Is that how you say it? No.
Yeah, so the Minutemen are more of a traditional armed force. We wanted to kind of have some of the vibes of the kind of the historical Minutemen, but also represent the fact that they are drawn up from sort of more modern military personnel in Fallout 4. And so they are a more traditional force with a ability to move and fire that makes them surprisingly mobile on the table. Um, in effect, when one of their crew members makes an attack, they another model close by can make a short move in response, so they can slowly cover each other as they move up the table. In addition, they have, I think, the biggest gun we've ever put in a factions crew.
The mighty Broadsider.
Yep.
There we go.
Yes.
So yeah,
you may
if subtlety is not your strong suit, go for it.
Yeah, you may notice a new trait on here, Beam. And Beam is very simple. You trace a straight line on the board. Any models under the straight line are hit by the Broadsider. It can go through walls. It can go through anything. It will just shoot a big cannonball at people. This is honestly one of the most fun game weapons we've had in the game to use. Lining up, trying to get the perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly hilarious because trying to line up like a chain of enemies to take them all out in a single shot is extremely satisfying. You've ever managed to make it happen, but it's also incredibly tricky. So your opponent often spends a lot of time watching you as you desperately edge your models around in an attempt to get the perfect shot lined up. But when it does happen, mwah, perfect. It's so much fun. So we found playtesters both playing with and playing against Broadsider had an absolute ball. So we think you will too.
Amazing, fantastic. And then, as you sort of touched on as well, this is just so people can
Yes.
Sam can confirm it. This is the current covering fire Minutemen perk, which, like I said, allows models to move if they're in the control area of a friendly model that after the inflict damage stage. So there you go. That's the rules as written as that. But yeah, that allows.
And you may think 2 inches is not very far, but it really does add up over time. It makes them one of the kind of most surprisingly maneuverable forces on the table.
And I feel as well, if you are, trying to like get, particularly with that broadsider, if you're trying to get people in a line, the number of times you will just be outside of that, and you just need those 2 inches to get someone to move into line. That's what you want, So
Particularly if they have a broadsider.
exactly. So there we go. And that kind of brings us basically to the end of the contents of the Battle for Boston starter set, and as well as the Institute core set, the plastic core sets for Institute, which covers what we showed there. When can people pre-order these?
Gonna turn to the brand.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So literally tomorrow creeps in this petty pre-order from day to day. So yeah, go for it. Having some bad high school Shakespeare in there. So tomorrow, Battle for Boston start set and the Institute Plastics core set will be available for pre-order from Modiphius.net. So you mean I can have this for my birthday? Bonus. I don't know. It depends when your birthday is. I don't know when that is. I'm guessing you do and you've worked out the math, but good on you, Verm. Speaking of other stuff coming up, Super Mutants. Jamie, take us into the realm of your super mutant-like mind. What's occurring here?
They're not there, so they're not here yet.
So,
no, the super mutants are coming along really nicely. I think we can show the next slide now quite confidently.
Look, here's some sprues. Here's some super mutant sprues.
Real. They exist. And they're good.
They're good. They're so good.
Yes.
After all the pain we've gone through, they're finally good. Yep, so they're looking really good. Sam, am I allowed to talk about these anymore?
Yeah.
They're going to go on pre-order tomorrow as well.
Yeah. 3 things tomorrow.
Finally.
It's a big Thursday tomorrow. So
big
yeah.
Thursday tomorrow.
So
we finally got them there. They're looking so good.
Yeah.
Group shot of the
It's
super mutants
taken a while, but
okay.
we've been working with our manufacturer. The tooling's looking great. We're about to go into mass production, so pre-ordering starts tomorrow as well.
Yep. Yep. So that's it. So there we go. The super mutant update is one more day. Just one more
Finally,
day. And
one more day.
one more day. Cool. I'm people saying those look lovely. That's great. Thank you. Excellent. I'm glad. Happy people. The howling one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So other things coming. New miniatures, right? We're now firmly out of the world of the Battle for Boston start set. But you may have noticed one thing we did was tell you rules for miniatures and we didn't show them. So would you like to see the railroad? We've talked about their rules. We've talked about how they turn the battlefield into a Home Alone style cavalcade of traps and panic and despair. We don't need any more real super mutants is all we need.
Oh,
okay, thanks for coming.
Fine, great, thanks for coming, everyone. See you later.
I gotta go and make some dinner early.
Great,
but no, so here we go. Here's the railroad. This is the railroad core set, the plastic set for the railroad. As with the Institute ones, I'll go through. We'll go through these one by one. Just have a little look at the models in detail, and so yes, exactly. So we can all go ooh, and then I'll share the team behind them, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Although maybe not as much detail because we have literally just talked about the rules about them. But there we go. So we're starting off with a couple of field agents with possibly one of the dapperest hats I've seen in a long time in our Fallout Minis line. That's
It's just the railroad vibe, right?
very
It's the
fine. Yes,
secret agent vibe.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
And another field agent with those long old barrels there. But yes, how many Gauss rifles is there in the set? Well, you'll find out.
yeah.
So here's heavy one. But there we go. It's yeah, you'll see we've got a couple of heavies ready to just back up the team with that kind of, I can't remember. My mind fails me. What is that weapon?
And
That's
it's
the
the
railroad rifle.
Railroad
That is
rifle.
the railroad rifle.
Railway rifle. Sorry,
Railway rifle.
railway rifle.
I'm normally running away from them, not towards
With
them.
the
So I don't
muzzle
really...
mod, I think.
Oh, that's why I didn't recognize. Choo choo. Yeah, there you go.
Interesting choice.
Spot the dirty
But
casual. I'm
fully
sorry.
made.
I'm sorry, chat. I have to do my homework a lot. Now, the insurgency token is there. This is what we mentioned earlier. What Evie described for us. This is what you'll place around. So if you're looking forward to the ongoing adventures of insurgency token, this is the model for you. Got a lead field agent there with a hand weapon. Nice flight jacket. Very good. Very nice. And some runners. So, and just remind me, sorry, Evie, did you say that all runners have effectively counted as insurgency tokens, or just some of them?
No, not all of them. Yeah, every
All of
runner in
them.
your crew counts as an insurgency token. They're quite lightly armed and armored, but you can use them to activate your ploys and set those traps.
Amazing. We also have a couple of tourists because it's just another lovely day out in the wasteland, including possibly tourist two's got another lantern, but tourist 3 is possibly the most targetable railroad member in the history of the wasteland. I just, you've got to be bold to be going out there into battle in a pink rah-rah skirt. So good on you. I approve of your life choices. There they
We've
are.
had a couple of
Those.
questions
Oh yeah, sure, go for it.
about the kind of like scale and
Mm,
size kind of thing. So there won't be any taller, but these models are at about 103% of the original size that our previous kind of resin sculpts were. And it's because of our move towards a bolder definition for details and such
yeah.
on our models. It's been the one thing that's also helped our super mutant tooling is just bulking them up just that tiny bit more, just gives us a little bit more leeway in terms of like material tolerances, any breakages, and actually, honestly, having painted a few of our resin stuff so far, they can be really punishing, particularly for newer or like me, unpracticed painters. There are only so many belts I want to paint on a single model. And so what we've done is we have simplified them a bit for plastics, but that we haven't lost the key details that really make the models shine on the tabletop. So I think we've hit a really, really nice sweet spot with these now in terms of texture, in terms of detail. They're a really, really nice kit, as are all of the kits now coming out for the game.
Yeah.
Definitely. Having just painted the disciples, I agree with the belts comment.
I
There are a
feel
few
your
moments.
pain,
Yeah.
Firm. I feel
Feel them.
your pain.
It's one of those things I think it's interesting because I remember when we announced that we were doing this a little while ago. I think it was in the stream, either the Fallout Waste and Warfare second announcement, or it was a stream associated with that. You can check it out on our YouTube if you want to see the full detail of us breaking those choices down and our reasons behind it. But obviously, a few people were just like a bit concerned. They were like, "Hey, change of scale, da 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 da," and it's like, I think it's always just worth reiterating. It's not, when you say change of scale, like Samantha just said, it is literally, these are 103%. If you're painting with some bad old paints, you're going to be, you won't notice the difference. It'll be fine. And also the detail thing, it's not been a hard switch. If you've bought our stuff or painted our stuff over the past couple of years, you've kind of seen us transitioning into this. And like you said, the disciples had lots of belts, and then as you move on to other things, that detail level, it's been a switch we've made, and there's no hard and fast point. So unless you've picked up something and gone, this is egregious, I can't be doing with this, then you probably haven't noticed, and it's probably fine. But as always, it's always great to hear what people think, especially if you are painting stuff. Come join us on the Discord and share what you paint. Love to see if it makes a difference, because we think it does. And we love being told we're right. So
let me
yeah,
just touch on something there, Steve. So
Sure.
the Battle for Boston box, the Brotherhood are still technically the 100% scale, but next to the Institute, you can't tell the difference.
Exactly.
And the synth, like Gen 1 synths, would not look anywhere near as good if we hadn't put them at 103% to get them. As that sort of center mass part, which is so much nicer than other game systems models that are skeletal, that are horrific to build without naming names.
Definitely. I mean, that's the thing. It's literally like, I think, were we of a different mindset, we could have just not said anything and probably no one would have noticed. But here we are, sticking our head above the parapet. What are you going to do about it? Just to say before we move on, the railroad were again sculpted by Colin, and they were all painted by our very own Amy. So give them your love next time you see them in the Discord. Every time I look up, I can see someone saying that's what a synth would say. I feel like I'm in a time loop. It's just so weird.
A stroke.
No, God. No, it's only a Wednesday. So the dice set, the railroad will of course have their own dice. A lovely lantern-themed set in dusky browns and sunset yellows. So there we go. Exactly. Yeah, I'm a synth now. Sure, whatever you mean. Someone mentioned the Minutemen. Are we going to show the Minutemen? Of course we are. Of course we are. We talked about the railroad rules. Here are the lovely Minutemen, and there they are, ready to dive in. Once again, we'll just run through these briefly when people have had a chance to take in the awe-inspiring group. So we've got start off. We've got a colonel with a saber. In the world of the Wasteland, if you're prepared to go into battle with a sword, you have my respect. So good job. Lieutenants are there, challenging once again for impressive headgear. We do some good minis, good hats on minis. I think that's probably aggressive bugling noises. I don't know what that sounds. Well, I know what that sounds like. I don't want to know what it sounds like. Here's the second lieutenant ready there. We also have some militia to start bulking the team out. Excuse me. Militia number 2. Very nice lumberjack shirt. Very warm. Cracking facial hair going on. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You'll notice about some of these models too that there's quite a different variety of weapons in the crew, and it's something that Evie and I spoke about a lot when we were briefing and conceiving the set. That we didn't just want the Minutemen to be leather armor and then their rifles, those laser muskets. Right, we wanted a bit of variety in there. There's shotguns in there. There's pipe weapons in here. There's obviously laser muskets in here, but it was something that we were really keen on doing. And I think you can see a little bit here about, say, the militiamen compared to the actual Minutemen.
Yeah, so we're going to the Minutemen.
They've just got those pipe rifles. They're just a little bit lower grade. Maybe they're just starting up in terms of getting the Minutemen back on track. And then it's more of the champions and stuff like that that really have the laser weaponry.
Exactly. So Minutemen 2. There is the Broadsider we were talking about. Subtlest weapon on the battlefield, but there we go. What's the kickback on that like? That must be, you must have to get some pretty damn good footing with that thing.
Don't think about it, Steve. It's
not that deep, Steve.
Steve, it's why Minuteman number 3.
Exactly. Yeah, there's been 2 other guys foolish enough to pick up that weapon before. And then Minuteman number 4, because every faction needs someone who's just brave and has a hand weapon. There they are. So yes, there is the Minuteman team. I saw a few people saying like, "Hey, I was just going to field 10 Preston Garveys." I would love to see how that battle goes. Quite frankly, that would be insane. But the Minutemen once again sculpted by Colin, and these were painted by second most fun person on the painting stream, Callum. So no, it's interesting actually looking at that. I was just like, oh no, yeah, I can definitely see Callum's details on there. There's a lot of weathering on there, but yeah. So there they are, the Minutemen. I've seen a few people say I've instantly seen my favorite out of that lineup. Who was the favorite? Was it the Colonel with the sword? Because it's like, cross between the sword, yeah. It's cross between Jack Sparrow and Kentucky Fried Chicken. I love it. So there we go. There is the Minutemen, and of course the Minutemen, as all the other sets have a lovely set of dice. But there we go. So the Railroad and the Minutemen, and I know you chat, you're waiting for me to now go, oh, pre-order tomorrow. They're not. I'm just, but just...
Although technically, you can. So tomorrow we're going to be launching a kind of a bit of like an all-in bundle. So you'll be able to pre-order the Battle for Boston starter set, these 2 new plastic kits as well. So you get all 4 with your pre-order.
Mhm.
You'll be able to pre-order the dice as well. And they come with a little pre-order bonus, which can't remember if we're showing off later or if
think we
are.
are. I think we are.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, that's later. There'll be a pre-order bonus model, which we will reveal soon.
Mhm.
And there were some questions in chat as well about like fulfillment when these things will be shipping. So we run 3-month pre-orders. And so we expect this to be shipping in May for people. If you pre-order all of that, so that bundle that I'm talking about, that's going to actually fulfill in June, because these 2 plastic sets are pre-ordering next month.
So there you go. Man, pre-order bonus. Yeah, man. Well, as with all our pre-order bonuses at the moment, it's like it's a bonus, but you will be able to buy it later. It's not going to be like, it's not an exclusive. It's not like something that, if you are like, oh, I got the FOMO, it's like you won't mo.
That's an important
There'll be
distinction
no
we've made
mo in
since
your FOMO.
it's an important distinction we made since the core rulebook, that we moved away from doing exclusives. It's a promo and then it's available, like we did with King of the Park and like we're doing with Rogue Knight in the Folio. You can get them.
And is it worth pointing out this, those things we're talking about pre-orders? Do you want to mention Bottom Cappy and things like that as well?
That's for later, but yeah, sure, we can cover that now.
Well,
I'll
may
answer
as well,
questions
because I've just
in
said
chat. Yeah, Super Mutant. I'm going to answer chat first. Super Mutants will be the same time, so May is when they should be fulfilling. It's a 3-month pre-order. Bottle Cappy and Red Eye are going to go on sale in general sale in April.
Yeah.
So
if
they'll be
you
released from jail,
missed those, released from miniature jail. So yeah. There's no mo in my FOMO. You've just got foe. General foe. I know the feeling. It's called anxiety. We've all got it. Cool. So new miniatures. Minutemen Generals. So now we're out of the plastics and we are now looking at some upcoming resin sets.
So
guess what
this
one
isn't
is?
quite Wave 12 that we did traditionally, as Sam said. We're kind of moving away from that now. So we've got 1 or 2 little sets to show that are not Wave 12, but tie in with Boston.
Exactly. So it's like, we'll show you these now so that when we start talking, like next time we start talking about miniatures and stuff that's like more closely tied with Waste and Warfare 2nd Edition, there's more of a clean plate and we don't have to be like, and the Minutemen Generals are also here. We wanted to give them their time in the sun, and this feels like the time for it. So here are the 4 Minutemen Generals, with possibly my model of the stream. It's clearly flag waving time. That is the guy. That's a banger of a flag. So people are calling Preston Garvey Mr. Gravy in the chat. I don't know quite. What a tie-in brand that would be, Preston Gravy. just
Yeah.
granules.
But yes, chat, that is Nate, that is Nora as the general.
There we go. So Minuteman General Nate. Yep, there we go. But yep, and also Nora. Haha. So yeah, these minis, while they are resin and they might be, they can be used in one way. They will also be used if you don't want to specify them as Nate and Nora. They can be used in factions as just Minutemen Generals. You can call them Nate and Nora. That's up to you. You do you. So, but also in the set we are also, of course, Mr. Gravy himself, Preston Garvey, ready to. I'll insert your own jokes about settlement. You know how this works, and Ronnie Shaw as well. So there they all are. With this set, Jamie, like you said, like we said, there's multiple uses across factions and Waste and Warfare, and that's Waste and Warfare version 1, version 2.
So there'll be for both. So the Minutemen Generals can be used as your Nate and Nora. Preston has rules because he was previously in the Survivors core box, and then we've moved away to plastics. I know we had questions in the chat about that we are looking at re-releasing or repackaging for second edition those character models that are appropriate and things, because the new core sets are generic models. So for example, the Survivors core set was 4 characters and 4 generics, and now it's a set of 10. So we are looking at sorting those out to make them sort of still available and maybe up them to 103% with the new detail. Who knows? That's another stream's problem. We'll show it some.
Oh, don't. The list grows. But no, that's cool. Yeah, so there we go. There's we just someone asking to see again. So we're just going to quickly go through them again. So yeah, that is the Minutemen. Is it bad I'd literally buy that for the flag? I have no problem with you buying that for the flag. No, exactly.
No.
But there, yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple of these are just single mini sets. It feels wrong to call them a set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
Straight up, people have asked for him in chat. Here he is. This is Maccready. So there we go. Oh, I should say as well before we the Minutemen Generals, the 2 generals, Nate and Nora, sculpted by Joe. Preston Garvey was sculpted by Domingo, and Ronnie was sculpted by Ben, and they were all painted by Rosie. So thank you for all that. But yeah, Maccready. What can we say about Maccready?
So Maccready is your pre-order bonus for the Battle for Boston, whether that's just by pre-ordering the box set on its own, or whether it's pre-ordering it as a bundle. You will also receive the Maccready model for free as a bonus with your pre-order. And like we've seen now through Jamie's announcement about the previous promo models for the previous wave, I'm moving away more from like the promo terminology because we want them to be more widely available and less exclusive. We listened to community feedback on that one basically, and so Maccready is your pre-order bonus, and then there will also be other individual models coming up for sale or as pre-order bonuses in the future, and then once we hit the next battle for something, we'll release the previous wave of individual models.
Yep, that's cool.
Maccready's also a Legend of the Wasteland, right? Evie?
Yes,
That's right. Yeah, just like a lot of these individual models. In fact, I think all of them.
Yep.
He has Legend of the Wasteland rules.
that's something. Of course, we didn't actually mention it, but Battle for Boston will have more Legends of the Wasteland in it. I think we've covered what they were in the previous stream, though. So if you're wondering,
we got it wrong in the last stream and then fixed it. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Anyway, this was this was sculpted by Ben and painted by Amy, and is once again an amazing piece of headwear for our miniature lineup. So stoked for that. Next, the Black Devil. In a slightly confrontational pose.
That's a great pose.
So it's a great pose. I mean, but yeah.
It's taking out the trash. It's great.
People asking, which is a good question, is like with all these minis, are these all going to get like 1 and 2.0 rules, or is it like we're giving these Waste Warfare 1 rules for now and 2 may follow? It's
I
or
think
watch
we'll
this
talk
space.
more about watch this space. We'll talk more about the second edition rules when we're coming up to those
Yeah.
streams. And
We haven't even told you what the rules are yet. You don't need to worry about whether the Black
hey, you
Devil
don't even know
has
what the
them.
rules are. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What
What I can say is
yeah.
any new model that's coming out for this just now won't get 1.0 rules. We can make that clear. They'll have Legend of the Wasteland rules, and then they'll go into second edition. What those rules are,
Cool, yeah.
that's the other stream.
Question from Ryan: is this a pre-order bonus as well?
No.
I have forgotten, Jamie.
No, we made. I'll be honest with everyone. We made one too many models, and this was the cool one. So we're just going to release him on his own because you will all come for me if I don't release him. So we're going to release him towards Battle for Boston release time on pre-order, just to give time to recover some money after pre-ordering everything else.
Are you saying that we've learned our lesson from making a cool model and then never releasing it?
Not at all.
No, we could never have done that before.
There's 2 models technically. There's a raider there. He's having a bad day.
That's true.
But he is there.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But yes,
Questions in
so
chat about who the Black Devil is. So it was originally a piece of Creation Club content. But it is a quest you can follow about an Enclave deserter, I think, effectively, who basically turns into the Commonwealth's Batman, as it kind of goes. So we don't know like who they are. They start just helping people when they get little radio calls and stuff. So we thought it would be really cool, and it would give us another advanced power armor model. So and it adds advanced power armor to your Fallout 4 game as well.
Cool. A couple of people chat like scenic base. What? And it's like, okay, right. Let's cover this over
Bonus
again.
models for individual models. We're doing that, but for everything else, we're doing plastic bases.
Yeah. So if it's like normally if it's like a set of 1 mini, it's probably going to have a scenic base because it's like, ooh, fancy. But yeah, otherwise it's plastic ones. And if you watch the painting stream on Friday, and I know who you did because I was there, the 3D scenic bases are coming. I would show you the one I painted, but I've put it away in my KR. But look at them all. These are all the bases. And that's not even all of them. That's a fraction of them. So the 3D bases are coming.
I can talk about that right now, actually. So the Wasteland bases, the 30, 40, and 50 mil sets, will be on pre-order, or on general sale, in fact, tomorrow. And then we will move on to Vault, and then we'll move on to Boston the following months.
Cool. So yeah.
So
first wave of the 3D bases tomorrow. There you go.
Yeah.
A fourth thing for tomorrow. So all of you guys complaining in chat about tomorrow being some sort of an expensive thing, then look.
Then buckle up.
Sorry, but not sorry. Buckle up.
Finally did it. Finally released the scenic bases. You can all leave me alone now.
But yeah. So all the people who were in the paint stream on Friday were like, "Well, when are these out?" And I was like, anyway. Moving on. Ada is a 1 mini set as well. I love this mini. It's just I don't know why. I just do. It makes me giggle, and I can't explain why. But yes, another one. This is again not a as we used to call them promo. This is not a bonus. This is a mini that you just buy by itself. So there you go. Ada, my beloved. All right, steady on. Also, this does not confirm plastic protectrons. That's a leap of logic that I admire you for trying, but in no way confirms anything. This is a resin mini.
Bless your heart. No,
I mean, yeah, I love the try, but that's a reach. And before we move on to the final mini we're going to show, is there anything we want to say about Ada, or does she speak for herself?
Who sculpted her?
I think she's neat.
I'm going to go through them all when we're done, but yeah, she is neat. In fact, let's do this now. Maccready, sculpted by Ben. Black Devil sculpted by Domingo, as was Ada. They're both Domingo sculpts. Amy painted Maccready, Rosie painted the Black Devil, and Ada was painted by Callum. So they are all accredited now, and they are bloomin' lovely. I don't actually have the credits for the next mini, so if you could look that up for me, Jamie, because hot off the press, this is a last-minute edition.
Oh yeah.
Even Samantha's like, what are we about to do here?
What are we talking about?
I thought we were done for the evening. No, so the last miniature we have to show. This is imagine a miniature company publicly acknowledging the sculptors and painters. Hey, they're lovely people. They do amazing work, and doesn't matter what other companies do. That's what we want to do. So, last miniature is Hammer. Level 50 version. So tell us about this, Jamie. What on earth's going on here?
He's got a super sledge. No, the sculpting team took the opportunity to sort of do up a couple models, and this was one of them when they were doing like the Minutemen Generals and things. And it was like, well, Hammer does get bigger and scarier, so why not do the model as one of the last things we do for not quite Wave 12, but the last few bits. So yeah. He comes with extra weapons. This was sculpted by Crispy and painted by Rosie.
There you go. As Red Eye Samurai says, Red Eye Samurai just saying,
for those
chat,
of you that wanted this model, congratulations, you've got it.
But there you go, yeah. But no, there you go. Yeah, it's like a nice upgrade version of him as well. So if you've got that original version, cool. You've got like the comparison. But there we have. And this is, like I said, this is going to be a one mini set. Yes, the units are normally 40 mil bases.
And no Mac. I'm going to make sure this comes out a month after the plastic ones, so I can sell it isn't first.
I was going to say technically no.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure it's a month later than the plastic super units, so that's not
coming out after.
Cool. So there we go. Those are all the things we have to show you. So that's all the Battle for Boston starter set. That is all of the plastic sprues that are associated with it, as well as some that are, well, they're associated with it, but you don't get them in the box, as well as a bunch of new resin and dice. Questions are now open. Please submit your questions to the board. We will now entertain your random theories about what means what. Will there be a webpage, a community post, etc. that summarizes everything shown today? Well, this will be re-uploaded to YouTube and it'll be a VOD on here. But will there be a Fallout Friday that summarizes this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Fallout Friday is exclusively this. I'll have to we'll double check tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of what we're doing. Like I said, it's a big old. Steve, you hinted at NCR Power Armor to get me here. Did I? I apologize if I did. Maybe that was a sarcastic hint. Or maybe I just lied to get bums on the seats. It's hard to say. No, I wouldn't do that.
Can you go back to Hammer so they can screen grab it? Because Mac keeps
go
asking.
Back to Hammer.
He forgot to screen grab it.
Sure, there you go. Go on. punch your F11 key or print screen. That's fine. There you go. Boop. The VOD will be available immediately after this on Twitch, and then within a week or so, we'll put this on our YouTube as well. What made us choose Brotherhood of Steel versus Institute rather than say Institute versus Railroad or Minutemen versus Raiders? What was the choice there?
I hate to tell you, friends, but capitalism. They're the hero kit. Like they have outsold every plastic kit that we have done since the original Nuka World kits, just by miles. So we love the Brotherhood set, and we think they should be in there.
Yeah, and also I think that was one of the things that we got feedback about Nuka World was people like, oh, it's great. I just wish I could play someone in power armor stomping around because that's the iconic thing I want to do. And it's like, well, all right, second time round. Will we ever get Automatron style mix and match robots kit? Well, the rules for that are in Folio 1, which is soon, I believe, isn't it? There's like a robots kind
for
of
Automatron crew, not mix and
that.
match a robot.
That's what I
No,
mean.
it's
You
not
know,
a mix
That's a
and
whole
match.
step, Steve.
one of those
Yeah.
words was the same, and I latched onto
Oh.
it like someone looking for Protection plastic sets.
All I'd say in response to that is that that's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
The old free beer trick. I'm sorry. Sleazy salesman with chicken. Look, you know, that's a show thing.
I'm not
Plastic
making Chicken
protectrons
Guy as a
when,
model.
plastic
Sorry.
gunners when. Look, there's a lot of our answers here which default to we would like to make a lot of these things, and when we can get around to them, and when we can make all the people we credited for sculpting and painting these things get through those, you know, we will tell you
Again,
because God damn
chat,
it.
you're doing me a disservice. Do you think I've not thought about plastic kits for like Gunners or like Enclave or like NCR or Caesar's
Yeah.
Legion or all of these factions we still haven't covered? Of course
We'll
I've thought
level
about
with
it.
you. We didn't get to see season 2 of Fallout before everyone else. So, you know,
Yeah.
we were with
Yeah.
you when it was just like, oh, right, okay, here's Caesar's Legion. So, you know, obviously there was just going to leak some pictures, but, you know, it's like, we're thinking things, but, you know, let's see how that goes. I've got a local factions player that really needs the Enclave rules. Cool. We'll
I
do
would
it for that one
say-
person.
Yeah, I would
get one.
say look what the community's done. We have had people in the Goonhammer tournament, in fact, played Brotherhood of Steel using Enclave models. So
Yeah.
there are ways to get around
And-
it.
And
Yeah.
it's even easier now with the Outcast rules and the folio, giving you some plasma rifles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again,
Black Devil.
obviously, we want to make these things. You have to give us time. And
There's a queue,
promise
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You've got enough to be buying tomorrow anyway.
exactly. Well, we turn around and we just like, oh yeah, and you can get the Enclave and Caesar's Legion and the NCR tomorrow. People would just be like, ah.
What
But,
about next week, though? Yeah.
Exactly. What about next week? You know, also, it's lovely to have these things because I think pretty much everyone in chat who turns up for these appreciates the slightly, shall we say, Anglophile sense of sarcasm we all deploy in these. You know, that said, it doesn't hurt when people keep repeatedly saying, "Oh, we want the Enclave," or "We want this," or "We want that," because it means we don't forget and we know that, you know, we're on the right track when we start thinking about X down the line. If we're like, you know, it's never a good thing to go, well, we could do this set. Strangely, no one's ever asked for it in chat when we've done one of these streams. So, but yeah, so please don't stop telling us what you want. Just, you know,
Yeah.
just give us a break every so often. What's the next big miniature? You'll see.
Hammer is
There-
about this big.
Hammer is the biggest
Everything
one
we
we
just
showed
showed
there.
you is the next big
Yeah, we just
miniature.
showed you.
Everything we showed you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There are other things which are bigger than a humanoid, which I guess is what you're asking. But you know, they're in the future, and unless I start screen sharing my drive of work in progresses, you won't see it, and I'm not going to do that. Once again, people complimenting Samantha's choice of t-shirts, very on point. I love it.
God, right.
People theorizing about what the next starter set. This one isn't even out yet. Come on, people.
Touching on the
but
tokens
yes.
and terrain questions that have been asked. The
Sure,
token
go for
sheet
that.
is exactly the same, Sam, other than we've changed the initiative token and the objective token to be Boston themed. So
Yeah,
you already play
the
factions. Yeah.
I want to share this with you, chat. The objective token is probably my favorite little change that we've made in the box. Evie's smiling because I know that when you showed the dev team, they were all just like, yeah, that's it. The objective token is the little subway coin that you can get when you're like finding subway tokens around in Boston in the metros, and it works perfectly. we had the texture and it was just great. So props to graphics
Cool.
for that, and
Mhm.
thanks for the approval, I guess.
The question here is Hammer going to be in the Boston rulebook, or is that a separate release?
So Hammer and the Minutemen Generals will be a separate PDF release,
There we go.
so that they
Cool.
come alongside with them rather than being Boston.
Oh, and I can see in chat as well. Samantha's already answered that. So, but hey, check that one off because it was a good question. Can Institute take power armor? Institute can modify their armor to upgrade to power armor.
Yes. Not making
Yes.
the
So the
model, though.
answer is yes, but yeah,
I will want to see the Discord where they put Institute heads on power armor instead, though.
I would love that.
I'm looking forward to the exciting kit bashes and hobby projects that I'm sure will arise from
How many
this.
different power armor dogs will we see?
Oh,
I'm
I want
still-
as many as possible.
I want Beastmaster pack. Someone just upgrades like 4 dogs. It's 4 power armor dogs.
I'm still annoyed that there hasn't been a kit bash anyone's done of power armor with the head of my mind forgets it, the person in the cat suit from Nuka World.
Mr. Fuzzy.
Mr. Fuzzy. I want a power armor with Mr. Fuzzy's head on it, but haven't seen that yet.
I don't know if it would fit, Steve.
That's why I'm interested to see it. I'm not going to try myself. Exactly. I want other people to make my mistakes for me. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, there's kind of some other questions. Can we get an update on the folio? When can we expect the folio?
It's on pre-order. Please pre-order it. I've looked at samples. It's progressing well. It'll be soon.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just good to say things are going according to plan. Thank you for those videos. Hey, no, thank you for turning up and giving a crap about the game. We love this game and we're very excited always to share it with you. So thank you. The master release when? Well, as you can see, Nuclear Doggo, if you go down to your channel points, the master will be released when someone has the requisite amount of channel points. It's not hasn't happened yet. When Folio 2, when Folio 1.
Folio 1.
They're more.
Probably after the first one has released.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, likewise, this is how it's going to be. Don't tempt people. I would love it if someone cashed in that channel points thing. I would, not only would the master be released, I would send you a thank you card. But no, I think unless there is any other questions, I think I'm prepared to close the question seminar. Who is Folio? That's not a question I'm going to answer. That's just silly. I like it. Is there an update to when we can expect Fallout Wasteland Warfare 2.0? Not yet.
After Boston.
We will be. We will tell you very soon because we want to. Because I've played it and it's really good. So I just thought I'd tease you with that. But yeah. So the Q&A done. Sweet. You're right. I think that's let's wrap that up. That's been awesome. It's been great to share all this stuff with you. Jamie, do you have any final words for the internet?
Come join us on the Discord. We're all friendly there.
Definitely.
Evie and the devs are generally pretty active on there as well and talk. We won't give away everything, but we'll talk about a lot of bits and pieces in there and answer any questions. So yeah.
And if you have rules, questions, concerns, issues, gripes, we're here. We're available. We will ignore some of them, but we will generally help you if we can.
We take them in the spirit in which they are asked.
That's right. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And pre-order the Battle for Boston set.
Please.
And if you want them all together in the bundle in June, the Minutemen and the Railroad sets and all their dice too. If you pre-order tomorrow, you get Maccready for free.
Nice one. Nice one. Evie, do you have anything to add, or other than join us on the Discord and hassle you?
I mean, that's always my call out on these streams: is come and irritate me more. I love it.
No.
No, I would say Battle for Boston is, I for me, it was one of the first projects I worked on when I joined the company, and I am delighted it's finally here. And I think we have added something genuinely new and exciting to the already fantastic factions formula. So please, please do pre-order this, mostly so I can talk to you all about it in the Discord when you have the rules.
Definitely, definitely. And finally, Samantha, do you wanna close off with anything?
Go pre-order tomorrow. Look out for your inboxes if you're in the newsletter. Look out on the Modifius.net store. We usually start our orders around, like whenever we're launching a product on the web store, it's around 3-4 o'clock UK time. So check it out around then. But of course, if you're on our socials or if you're on our newsletter, like I said, you will not miss it. We will be letting you know. So go pre-order it, get Maccready for free. And yeah,
Yeah.
really looking forward to getting my hands on my comp copy, Jamie. Thanks.
Well, there you go. That's an awkward chat for after the stream. But so thank you. Yeah, let's move on. Thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. Chat, please say thank you to Jamie, Evie, and Samantha for joining us. Really appreciate the time because it's after work's finished and they could be doing something like being at the pub or eating their dinner. But thanks for hanging out. If you don't follow us all, please do drop a follow because it's really helpful and it means we can ping you with only sporadic messages to say more streams like this. Otherwise, yeah, this will be up on YouTube. I know I was saying it. This will be up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know it's up on YouTube. If you're in the chat now and you want to rewatch it, watch the VOD or be on YouTube. Otherwise, we will catch you very, very soon and have a bloomin' lovely week. And we'll see you all possibly in the shopping cart tomorrow. But that's enough for capitalism, and we say goodbye. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thanks so much. See you later.
Bye, folks.
Bye.